Hey, this is Gilgamesh. I just went and saw this today in the afternoon. It's in theaters for a short period, remastered by Shout Studio. The 4K remastered they remastered this of Hard Boiled from 1992. Now, when I went into it, I wanted to see this because I loved the movie. I remember it, and before the movie begins, they tell you at the end, sit through the credits. Then they have a whole interview when they originally showed this at a movie theater. I don't know where it is. They don't really, and he's being asked questions about the movie. And so John Woo, who I'm not sure how old he is, he's doing this interview where he explains about the movie. And you got to remember, in the 1992, when this movie came out, when they made this movie, there was no CGI. So when you see in the movie a hospital being blown up, they're literally blowing up a hospital for real. And he goes through that like this, the whole thing with at the end of the movie. So this movie is probably, you gotta remember, for a while till more recently, Hong Kong had been under British control. It's a city, part of China, but it was actually due to the Opium Wars. England had control over Hong Kong. And in a way, I'm actually glad, because if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't get the type of movies like Hard Boiled or The Killer. A lot of these 90s, I think 80s and 90s films from out of Hong Kong, because guaranteed, the way China does things, they would have censored the fuck out of this movie. It's really violent. It's really bloody, and very, And also, I didn't realize John Woo actually is in the movie playing a bartender. He has a couple of scenes, and he explains that's due to Chow Yun-fat wanting him to be in the movie. And he points out that, he and Chow Yun-fat have a love-hate relationship. This is in the interview part. After me, what I love about this movie is the cast. You have Chow Yun-fat. You have this Tony Leung, who I think he was also in, I could be wrong, I'm going to look this up real quick, John Woo's The Killer. Yeah, I think this is the movie. I could be wrong, I think it is the John Woo film from 89. Yeah, here it is. I'm trying to remember who plays the cast of that movie, because it's also a John Woo film. Oh, it's Danny Lee. Okay. Yeah. But I bring that up because I just thought of John Woo. And, that's what I thought about it. I was like, okay. So, this movie's fantastic. It's over 2 hours and 6 minutes, and it just doesn't let up. I mean, it's, you've got, Chow Yun-fat plays Tequila. And he's, at the beginning of the movie, they're basically at this tea house, basically undercover to try to interrupt a transaction of, I think it's either drugs, something like that, and all hell breaks loose. And essentially, his partner gets killed. Yeah. And this movie goes batshit crazy, and you have, like I said, the cast is amazing in this movie. They do a fantastic job. You have, the superintendent Philip Chan. I was like, wow, the guy who kills his partner. I've seen him in other stuff. I can't remember his name, but you have. Then you have Teresa Mo, and she's sort of in an off again, on again relationship with Tequila, and they do at times speak English. They have subtitles in the movie, and they do speak Cantonese, but there are times where they're actually speaking in English, and it's funny because it's not their first language. And also there's a whole plot to this where she's getting these roses and notes. We don't know who's doing it at first, and they're done in a way that you have to sort of sing to figure out what they are. So you give it the number it's in code, so you have to figure out. And that's funny. There's good humor in this movie, a lot of action. It's violent. The final showdown of this movie is so wow. What goes on is just fucking crazy. It really is crazy when you actually watch this fucking movie. Because it's the end of this movie is like some of the most batshit fucking action goes on. And it's really well done. I mean, this is like, wow. And you have this one bad guy. He's wearing an eye patch because I think, yeah, he lost an eye. And I think he's Mad Dog. Yeah, I think that's him right here. Let's see if this is the actor I'm thinking of playing Mad Dog. Let's see. Can I see what he looks like? I think. Nope, I can't. Well, let's see if he has a better picture because this... Nope, I don't think they actually put his... Nope. Okay. I was trying to get his picture, but... Oh, here he is. Wait, no, that's not him. I was trying to figure out what he looked like. Oh, yes, this is him. Yes, he's called Mad Dog. I didn't know that in the movie. Philip Kwan has this whole thing in the movie. He's fantastic, by the way. He's a legit badass in the movie. And I do recognize him because, goddamn, look at his career. Yeah, this guy's been in so many fucking movies, and he's like, yeah, in this movie, he's this bad guy in the movie. But the funny thing is how much he actually, like, the final sequence of this movie is he doesn't want to kill anybody in the hospital. Yeah. And so he basically, there's a point where they're basically essentially, he's telling his boss, you've already got the cops, you got the, why not just let the people go? And his boss is like, no. His boss is truly evil in the movie. Yeah. And at one point, him and Alan, I guess, Tony, yeah, are facing each other with guns. Mad Dog is. And they have these patients, and you oh my God, they put their guns down. And he's going to look, they're like wanting the patient to leave. His boss comes in and basically kills all of them. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. I just love this fucking movie. It's like, yeah, John Woo made one of the most badass action films of all time. And it deals with, and they bring up about the, gun smuggling and drugs and everything that, yeah, Hong Kong had a real, I'm not sure so much now, but I know at the time, under English, they had a real problem with guns and drugs and criminals, the triad, gangs and everything, violence, really bad. And John Woo brought that up in the interview he did about where he got the idea for this movie. And so, yeah, the acting is top notch. Even the babies. I mean, God, they have babies in the movie. Actual babies. And it's like everything's so perfect. And I was like, I didn't realize when John Woo made this movie, he literally choreographed everything he wanted the actors to do because he said, when I was younger, I choreographed all this, how I wanted the fights to go down, how I wanted the action scenes to go down. He showed them. I was like, oh my God, this guy really, yeah. And everybody's fucking amazing. I was like, I've seen Tony Leung and other stuff. All of them are great actors. I mean, right here, Anthony Wong plays Johnny Wong. He is the most motherfucking evil person in the movie because he doesn't care if he kills everyone. It's like he'll blow up a hospital. Yeah, they really did blow up a hospital. This movie is so goddamn amazing. It's, this and The Killer are probably two of John Woo's greatest films he ever fucking directed. And yeah, and it's just like, holy shit. He brought up choice, I think, he brought up another producer, director and everything, and people went, in the crowd when he was talking, and then he admitted, oh no, it's Terrence. He brought up Terrence Chung and Linda Kuck, who were the two of the producers, and they just gave him money to. He said, he explained how much he needed to make the movie, and he said, yeah, this movie went way over budget. And like I said, John Woo came out in 93. He made this in 90. It got released here, I think, in 93, but it was actually came out, I think, in Hong Kong in 92. But yeah, look at the man's career. This is John Woo. I mean, if you really look at him, the guy is like fucking, I forget when he was born. He's 5'5", so he's 2 inches. He's 79 fucking years old. And you look at his fucking career. The guy is just like, yeah, he's had one of the most amazing careers in the history of filmmaking. I mean, look at this. He's done American films. He does speak, he did do the whole interview in English. So don't get it wrong, he does speak English. But you look at his career. It's like from director. I mean, just fucking the guys had the career that most people wish they had. And I'm like, yeah, you go, okay. I couldn't sit there and say more about this guy. It's like you look at his career, it's like, yeah, John Woo is one of the most famous directors who's had the career. You go, yeah, his film career. Look at this. He started in '68. I'm just gonna slowly show you some of like his writing and produce. He's only look, he writes, directs. '68. Yeah, he did 2 movies. Yeah, both short films. But you go here, '80s. Yeah. He did a lot of, certain movies. They bring that up. And then, yeah, you look at here, Chow Yun-fat. He did a lot of films with Chow Yun-fat. This is probably, killer is what's amazing about John Woo is how he can make a movie and make the characters, even the bad guys go, wow, those, and Choi Hark, he's a famous producer, director, and I think he also acts. But you look at his history and it's like, yeah. And Hard Boiled, it says right here, it came out in '92. I think it came out in '92 in Hong Kong, and then it was released later. But look at this. This is like his first American film. I actually enjoy this film. A lot of people don't. But Face Off is crazy. And I did enjoy Mission Impossible 2. I thought that was actually better than the first. I didn't like the first movie. I thought it was shit. But yeah, you look at his career, it's like in The Killer. He did not write it, he just directed it. Yeah. Yep. I have not seen this, but yeah, it's an American film remake of his original, The Killer, which like I said, I haven't seen it. Silent Night, right here, is an American vigilant. Yeah. So in 2000, yeah, I don't know if he's finished making movies. This is his TV. Yeah, he made a TV show with Chow Yun-fat. Yeah. He's done a lot. His career is probably one of the most amazing careers in the history. And this is probably single-handedly one of his great actions films. When you see how you see like the 2 guns. I think this is where, because he took a lot from like American and said, how can we, the 2 guns down the, I'm not joking, this is so well choreographed that you're seeing like things like Chow Yun-fat sliding down a pole, railing while he's shooting guns. I mean, where have you seen that in American films? Fuck no. They wouldn't dare do stuff like that because that's crazy. And this movie just fucking is batshit fucking nuts. I mean, it really is. But the casting, this is probably one of the best directors in the world. And this cast is, top notch. And like I said, they actually have babies in this movie. And you're like, who would work with John Woo? Would work with little babies. I'm not joking. They actually, and they're in a movie where there's people shooting at each other. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, that's John Woo for you. And yeah, so you've got this amazing cast, and you go, yeah, they did a great job with this movie. And it's just from beginning, it's like, yeah. And essentially his partner gets killed, and then he's, and then next thing we know is, how'd the cops know where this was going at the tea house? Well, we get Alan. And we find out later he's an undercover cop who's been brought in to find the person who betrayed Uncle. Yeah, which is him right here, Uncle Ho. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And yeah, and then it leads to Chow Yun-fat asking his boss. We find out that, he killed a cop who was working undercover. Yeah. And the end of this movie, the amazing thing with how they set up the final part in the hospital is like, holy shit, people are going to die. A lot of, I mean, they're shooting it out with people in the hospital. I'm like, holy shit, a lot of people are going to die. And it's amazing. And I'm glad I went and saw this in theaters again, because it's so fucking amazing. I couldn't praise John Woo enough on this film. This I would say is a movie that if you see it, you're gonna love it because the acting's great. Everything about it. There were a couple scenes like where I don't know if that's purpose where they suddenly froze. I can't remember. Yeah, the music was playing and there was maybe one hiccup I don't know if it was intentional or that's the way the movie where it suddenly stopped. The score's going. That happened a couple of times, but I think that was how it was meant to have a freeze in the movie. But there seemed to be this one like I said, it's not a big thing, but this movie is probably one of John Woo's best. All of his movies are, his Hong Kong films are great. Not all of his American films hold up, but I liked Mission Impossible 2. I liked Face Off. I liked Hard Target, things like that. So, yeah, I might do a whole thing on John Woo's career because he's one of the best Hong Kong directors. And the fact that he's 79 and he still puts out movies, and this, give it up to Shout Studio for remastering this and putting it in theaters because it's worth seeing. So, this is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.